Okay guys, this is going to be the second step. And the second step is attaching your handles. I have previously made these mugs and I was a little bit rusty because I haven't done pottery in a while since, the quarantine. So I thought I'd work on making some shapes and, just trying to figure it out, have fun with it a little bit. So I have 8 pieces here and I decided to make 12 handles. Now already, looking at all my handles here, this one's broke, so we're gonna get rid of it. I like putting everything out together so that I can then go ahead and kind of like match up what I feel fits with each mug and make sure, they all have a little bit different character to them. Make sure that the handle matches the character of the form. So if I have like a bigger piece, something that's a little bit heavier, I'm definitely gonna want like a sturdier handle, and I'll kind of take a look at it and see what, really matches with what I've created. I think I like this one. Yeah, that seems like a good match. And then I'll kind of set them next to each other so I know what I want to attach to what. All right, let's go in. This one's a little bit bulkier, so maybe I will do this handle. Yeah, I like that one. And these set up for, I said a half hour, but it really depends on like the consistency of the humidity that's going on. Ceramics is kind of crazy like that, that it depends on things like the air quality and the temperature and all of that. Let's see. I feel like I like that. And also having extras is good because if you get to the end and you're like, no, don't like it, you could change it. You could change it. Sometimes, you'll get some lines in your handles. If you don't like that style when you're pulling them, you could go ahead in and change that later too. All right, I think that's a good one. Now I have these shorter pieces, and you want to pay attention to the weight of the mug as well. The weight, the rim. And sometimes it's hard to pick. It's good to have choices though. I feel like that one goes there. And don't smush your extras. Even though you got extras, don't smush them. Trust me, sometimes things just don't go the way you want. This is ceramics here, people. So make sure you keep them. All right, okay, let's go with this one for here. And another thing is, this way, if for some reason you're not able to attach all your handles at once in one day, you have, both pieces together. You could match the consistency of them and keep it all nice and fresh to then go ahead and attach them the day after. Not feeling it. Okay. We'll settle. And then I feel like this might work well. Yeah, we'll put that one. Nope, change my mind. So now I have 4 extra handles. They're the handles I, don't love, but if I need them, I can make them work. So we do have handles. I made 13. I have 4 of them left currently. And now I'm going to show you how to go ahead and attach handles. Now, if you guys are familiar with the mugs I tend to make, I usually don't smooth everything in so much just because I'm going to cover it up a little bit, quite a bit anyway. And I sometimes would almost rather have it be like a little choppy, but I'm gonna show you guys how to go ahead and attach handles, and we will go from there. So I got my slip, and it doesn't have to be in, you know, the little icing bag, but that's just how I like to do my slip. There we go. And I'm gonna pick a mug to go ahead and start with. All right, so let's choose this one. And I got my handle here. And I'm gonna push this aside. And I'll try to get a little bit closer on it. This is quality tripod usage right here. So I kind of line this up and see, you know, what angle do I want this at? And I'm gonna set it on the table. You're gonna want a nice clean workspace. Don't follow this. Don't do that. And you want to shape it how you want your handle to be. So if you want like a squared off handle, you're gonna want to cut it a little bit different. You're gonna want to, square it and then like that. So you could make different shaped handles within your pulled handles. But one thing is for sure is that you want to cut it on certain angles so it's going to line up really nice with the shape. I always go in and just make 2 general cuts of the bottom and the top, and then I'll tend to work with that. So we'll go up a little bit. I need an assistant. So I have my mug here, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna figure out from the bottom how this curls in. Now that's quite a big handle. So I'm gonna take a little bit more off, and I then tend to take it off, not going straight. I wanna go on a diagonal a little bit. This is gonna be what's gonna help meet the side of the cup. So let's go from the bottom again, bring that in. I still feel like it's too big. So, it's all a little bit of trial and error. I'm gonna take off a little bit from the bottom this time because you wanna make sure that you have like a good grab on the top so that it's not gonna be, kind of like flimsy. I mean, even though it's fired, you're not gonna have that sturdy feel to it. So I'm kind of feeling that. I'm feeling it. Okay, let me just clean this top part up a bit. Because you'll notice what happens is sometimes you'll get like a little extra. So I'll clean that up. And I like to, then go in, line it up, make sure that's exactly where I want it, and make sure that it's nice and straight. Sometimes handles, if you're not like really mapping them out, they'll tend to go sideways on you. So I always like to go in and do a very light marking around my handle where it's gonna be placed. Now, with handles, you're gonna wanna make sure you really slip, score, and smooth these on. Because remember, these are, very tiny in comparison to the form that they are holding. And these are functional, it's not on a decorative piece. So we wanna make sure that we really, consider the functionality of the item and how it's gonna be used. All right. So I got that on there. I'm gonna just add a little bit of slip to the one side. And then I wanna make sure that I go in, try to smooth up any little things you want to before you attach this on. And then I'm gonna make some little score marks on here, some little score marks on here. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna attach the handle. So I'm gonna push it in and either start at the top or the bottom. I like starting at the top, and I'll start smoothing in usually right away so that it's not gonna fall off on me as I attach the bottom. So you could smooth this in really, really well. You're usually gonna need like some kind of tool to get into the top part there. Some people don't smooth theirs in. They just straight up slip and score them on, and that's fine too. Now I have the opportunity to go in and really take a look at my shape, where I wanna place it, and get that attached on. And then you'll see you'll have a little bit on the bottom to smooth in, and on the sides. And I usually just smooth mine underneath just because of the attachments I make. You know, it's really unnecessary smoothing. But if I, you know, have mugs where I make and I decide to leave them, I'll either, you know, just slip and score them on or smooth them in really well. So now I have my handle attached. You're gonna wanna make sure that, you know, it is really compressed. Double check it to make sure that it's straight because it's still malleable right now. You could still move it. And I think that's good. And now you have a handle on your mug. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest, but that's the basics of attaching a handle.